Dance. A successive group of rhythmical steps or bodily motions, usually executed to music. It is a performance art form in which movement has aesthetic and symbolic value. But here in West Central Ohio, dance is also a business. With over 20 dance studios in our region, the business of dance is more than just dance shoes and recitals. It's an economic catalyst that supplies our area with jobs, retail, tourism, and a driver of people to our communities who spend money in our shops, our restaurants, hotels, and facilities. We talked with several people in the dance industry in our area to explore the business of dance.
I'm Lynn Mulcahy from Lynn's Academy of Dance. We've got classes for all age children, usually up to about seniors in high school, and then we do offer some adult classes.
My name is Jill Garlock, and I'm with the Art Center School of Music and Dance. We opened with the intention of bringing arts to the community. We have a fabulous faculty. They're all certified or have their degree in dance.
And I am Gina Wiley, the owner of The Dancer by Gina here in Delphos, Ohio.
I'm Ashley Etzborn. I'm an instructor for Gina at The Dancer by Gina, and I also own a flower shop, Ivy Hedge Flowers and Gifts in Delphos.
I went to Ohio State Dance Department, graduated there with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Dance Performance. We started small, renting a space, and then after, 10 years maybe of renting, we built our own 8,000 square foot studio. So a lot of people said to my parents, what is she going to do with a dance major? And my mom said, she's going to dance. She's going to do something with dance. If you go to school for nursing, you become a nurse. If you go to school for dance, you're going to do something with dance. And I came home and we built this place, and it's very successful now.
I was a dance education major with an emphasis in modern dance and ballet. Spring break, my senior year of college, the former owner of this business, who was here for 40-some years, Barbara Lynn Lloyd, called me and said, I'd just like to talk to you. And she said she was ready to retire and asked me if I would just be interested in giving it a try. See what you think for a year. Try it out, see if you like it. All right, 23 years later, I'm here.
I actually took dance here in Lima with Barbara Lynn, and then I went to school in Connecticut, studied with the Hartford School of Ballet. So my background is really ballet based, and at the age of 42 decided to open up a studio, which is kind of a late bloomer for opening up a studio, but I felt like I had enough background and it was just the right time in my life.
It is a business. It's not just a game. It's not just having fun, running around in tights.
It's a lot of planning and communication with the parents, and so it is a lot more than just being up on the stage and dancing.
There's a lot of children and there's plenty to go around. I'm friends with a lot of studio owners in our area, and it's nice that we can, network together. Jen from Point of Joy has really brought together the studios too, like in the summer for that day of dance that we do, and that's so much fun. I love getting together with all the studio owners.
My name's Jennifer Velasquez, and I own Point of Joy. So we started on West Street. We were in a space that was right around 800 square feet, and it was the perfect starting place for us, but we outgrew that very quickly. We realized about 9 months in, we're going to have a problem. We heard that our space where we currently are on Elizabeth Street was becoming available. We were able to move in here and really over triple the space that we had on West Street. So there are approximately 20 dance studios just in the area, with the average studio having between 150 and 200 kids. We have a pretty big clientele base.
We have tuition. It goes by month, and with that tuition, that is getting their classes. They usually get 4 classes a month, and then they also would have competition fees if they're in competition. They would also have costume fees for our annual recital and purchasing their tickets for the recital. So those are kind of the monetary involvement. Or if they want to go up to the company level, where that can range anywhere from $100 to $200 a month, depending on classes.
Not going to sugarcoat it. Dance is expensive. There's a monthly tuition, and with that just covers, your teacher's cost to basically run their studio and be there, and maybe hire 1 or 2 teachers. A lot of these studios only have three or less dance teachers. Someone like me who has 3 kids who do competitive dance, we spend around $10,000 a year for them to dance. You want your child invested in something. You want their time well spent. You want them learning something. To me, it's worth spending every penny on that.
We put on a show, like people say, it's like going to, a Broadway show. We love going to the Civic Center. We actually sit down with the kids and have talks with them about how we have this great facility in our community.
I don't think you understand as a kid how great that facility is until you grow up, go to college somewhere, and then come back. It's like, wow,
Right.
I just think you just almost just get used to, like, this is where we perform.
This is
and
how it is, right?
Yeah.
I think a big part of it is honestly the stage that we're sitting on right now. To be able to, and it's a business. What they're doing is a business. They want to draw in as many young boys and girls as possible for their dance studios. Cross Performance Hall holds 1,774 people. Basically, the view that we have of what we are doing here is we are an economical engine for this community, and to be able to say that at the end of the year they're going to be able to perform on this stage is definitely a draw for them.
We bring in May and June, when we have our 5 dance studios, we bring in over 18,000 people come into this hall. And that's just on the performances alone, not including the rehearsals, which they all do at least 2 to 5 rehearsals.
It accommodates all of my dressing rooms, all of our parking. The stage is phenomenal. I don't know what we would do without it.
So we're there pretty much all week long, and there's a lot of businesses in the area, the meeting place and the QP, and all the local restaurants are very helpful when the dancers come downtown.
The dance studios add a huge amount of business to the downtown, especially during dance recital season. There's people down here in great numbers. And when you look at some of these studios of 500 to 1,000 kids, and then all the residual, the number of people they bring in with them. Old City Prime and the Met have some of the dads sitting at the bar, and they get the call that their daughters are on next or their children are on next, and they come running back down for the show. The other thing is the rally. I noticed this year, the rally has always have begun in May, and most of the dance recitals that are in May and June, the parents and even the kids will go over and listen to music for a while.
When the dance studios are in here, the energy is just fantastic. You can't come in here and not be excited about what you're doing that day.
We have students that come as far as Findlay, Defiance, St. Mary's, besides all your small towns in our region. And so there's people that have booked their hotel rooms already, at the Wingate, or they talk about going to all the different establishments to eat during our break. We do all of our printing for our programs locally.
The dance industry is a big part of what we do here. 18,000 people coming here over 5 weeks, obviously, that's 18,000 more potential customers for everyone that's here in downtown Lima. I think that is obviously important to Lima, and that's why Civic Centers exist, is to help drive the economy.
And how many are going to be affected by this that could possibly change their lives?
If they go to a Broadway show that's at the Civic Center, they get really excited to think, wow, I dance on that stage too.
And I even tell parents that, if your child can just get up on that stage and walk out there, I've had a parent try to do it sometimes, and they're like, wow, I could not do this. So even if they go out there and they just, stand there for their dance and maybe just tap their toe a little bit with a scared look on their face, their confidence will come in the future.
Because I think this is so valuable for kids. It gives them, if they come out a fabulous dancer, that's great. If they gain self-esteem, if they gain, a little bit of pride in themselves and what they do, that's what I want.
They genuinely love these kids, and they want to do this because they want these kids to grow in the arts. But what I've seen in my girls over the years is their confidence that has been built in them.
Dance is just a lot more than just the dance steps. We're building confidence, we're building, teaching them discipline and how to be a part of a team. So there's so much more that dance has to offer, and that is probably the best part. To see those kids, like when they graduate from high school, they're still my kids, and to see them move on, it's just like, it's a good, I'm very proud of them.
We do teach a lot of girls, so I think, building strong women. On my mom's desk, it says it's not just about making better dancers, it's about making better people.
Yeah, this is Lima. This is what we do.